everybody. I am so excited. Today, I get to announce a new friend of mine, Miss Alicia Brown, with Carolina Key Group over in Myrtle Beach, has decided to join our movement, our Freedom Builders movement, but most importantly, our firm at eXp Realty. Welcome, Miss
Thank you.
Alicia. Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here. So today is a big day. You've made your official move over to eXp Realty. So I just wanted our audience to get to know you because I know before I made my move, I watched a bazillion of these videos and I kept saying, well, why? So tell me a little bit about your group right now, how it sits, and then we'll go into your whys.
Yeah. So we're a team of 4 agents and we have a full-time transaction coordinator. I have 2 agents on my team who are fairly new to the business. And then I have one seasoned agent on my team who is looking for, retirement in the future. So she's really trying to find other avenues of income to, sustain in the future. So that's kind of like how our team dynamics are now. And we're trying to obviously scale that and grow that in the future.
Yeah. And you were already, you came out of the gate running. Like you had 3 million in sales your first year in real estate, went to 5 million, 8 million, and then decided you were going to start a team. You guys are almost to 20 million this year, which is how many units for you in Myrtle?
So our price point is like our average price point is around 250. So it's around like 50, 60 transactions. In all honesty, like my personal business this year is probably not my personal best or close to it. I
Right.
definitely took a different role when training 2 new agents, and it's definitely a lot of helping them with their deals. So I know when I started the team that obviously that's going to happen. You have to obviously grow your people. So this year was more about getting systems in place and really getting them comfortable in the game. So next year we can just skyrocket and a little less hand holding so we can all just crush it.
Yeah. And that's like the hardest part I know for me was, 15, 16 years in day-to-day sales, no partners, no buyer agents. And then I just woke up exhausted one day and I went, oh my God, there's got to be a better way to do this. And really the answer was bringing on agents, but it's hard, isn't it? Because you're trying to train and teach and then do your own personal production.
Absolutely. When I first got into real estate, I was on a team.
Hmm.
I joined a team because I knew I needed that kind of mentorship. So I kind of saw like different things that team did, and some things I took away with it, and some things I'm obviously changing and making it our own.
Right.
This year has definitely been trying to be just brand recognition, getting the brand out there and really focusing on making sure that all agents, while they're on the team, they still feel like they're not losing their selves. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I
Yeah.
want them to feel like they're still an individual agent, but you have this all the support behind you. And
Mhm.
obviously, I take on the overhead, so they don't have to stress about that. They can be their own agent and crush it, but have the team support behind them. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like I tell our team, it's like I want you to thrive, right? I want to be able to, I'll take the risk. We'll do the bulk of all the business part and then you just plug in and go. And
Yeah.
I mean, we have agents on our team that make $250,000. Like they don't want to run businesses. They just want to plug and play and then have time for their family and the support.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
love that. So take me back a little bit. You were with Berkshire Hathaway, which is a great company. You landed there. I don't, how did you land there in the beginning? Because I think it's so interesting how people land at their brokerages.
Yeah. Honestly, they have a great brand. I really liked their brand. It was a luxury brand. I followed some really big agents down in Florida who just really kind of caught my eye. And I had a friend at that brokerage, and he was like, just come in. And I went there, and it's definitely one of the smaller ones around here.
Mhm.
But it was a great atmosphere. I learned a lot. I got put on a project, which is actually where I met my first team member, Jesse.
Mhm.
So, if not for going there, I would never have met her and formed this kind of, unit. So, and nothing like, I mean, I had a great time there. It's
Mhm.
just at EXP, it's just so different. I feel like there, I was definitely working for somebody else, and I
Mhm.
really want to work for myself. When you're a sole proprietor and you're an entrepreneur, you have all these, there's no ceiling. You can go wherever you want to go. But I wanted to do it for me. I wanted to do it for my team. I wanted us to feel like we're really our own business. And you
Mhm.
can't really do that at a traditional brokerage, you
Right.
know?
Right. Well, and that's the thing. It's hard because people say, well, what's the difference? It looks just like a traditional, which it is. I mean, everything about it is traditional in a sense, except for the infrastructure on the back end, which allows us the vehicle to build something. And you said it perfectly. You were building somebody else's business. And I always felt like I was renting my business. When I left Remax, I left with a box and my trophies, and that was it. I was like, well, my career, 8-year career is over. Now I have to rebuild. So when you first heard about it in Myrtle, because it's not huge where you are, I mean, it's number one in my market now after 29 months. It's not big. So what was the first time you ever heard those three little letters?
Uh, Probably on social media somewhere, or somebody called me trying to get me to come to eXp,
Yeah.
and recruit the bad way, to be honest with you. Um,
Right.
it's not big in our market.
Right.
We probably only have, that I know of. So if I'm wrong, like, I'm sorry, but I probably only know like 30, 40 agents that work at eXp, or
Yeah.
that are actually recognizable in the market that I see eXp signs and stuff.
Right.
So it definitely has not blown up here yet. People are
Right.
definitely still skeptical about it. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's a
Yeah.
huge change, and I don't even know all the ins and outs of it yet, but I will learn it. But yeah, it's a lot to take in because it is different. And it's always scary when you join a company that's not real well known here. Remax is huge here. We
Yeah.
have a lot of big franchises here, and people are like, why don't you just go to them? They're
Right.
well known in this market. They have big buildings and big, beautiful buildings. Just go there. But it's the same thing. You're still, I'm the splits make it harder for people who want to join a team, because then there's less to divvy up. So
Right.
your agents on your team are making less money, which makes it hard to scale. And
Right.
all I care about is a company that's going to support me, be there for me, and not put a cap on me. You know what I mean? Like, where
Right.
I can scale, and my agents have so many avenues on how they want to do real estate.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that's probably the most fun for me is, to see I have agents on my team that have teams of 80, 90 people. Like think about
Yeah.
that. That's crazy. Our
Right.
team's 30 people and they're already ahead of me because they had that option. I
Yeah.
wish I had that option 15 years. I just didn't. I didn't know that way. Um,
But it's also turnover. You see
yes,
small things here in traditional brokerages that, they're constantly turning over. An agent comes on to them, they learn everything for a year, then they leave.
right.
I get that. I did that. I'm not knocking it. I did the
Yeah.
exact same thing,
Yeah.
because I didn't see how I could grow under somebody when it's just, you know, the same. I keep using the word traditional, but the same way that it's always been done. Now
Right.
there's so many ways to do it, and I don't want to lose as many team members. I know it's going to happen, but I
Yeah.
want them to see that, like, you're not. There is no ceiling with this either. You can do
Right.
so much.
Right. And I think what's cool is like I have team members that, like one has she wanted to be a model. So she's a plus size model. So she's doing that. She's, building her team. She's got 30 agents on her team. So she's got residual income coming there. She's got all of her stocks. She's trying to get her husband out of the business. And then she has a couple other endeavors that she wants to do, build courses. And she can do all of this without having to run the operations of her own business. So I think that is the coolest thing that they can actually scale with you instead of running away because they've got that money there. So I love that. Well, I know how did you find me? Because I think it's always fun. Like people find me in the weirdest ways, and
Yeah.
because we didn't know each other before,
No.
just a couple months ago.
Yeah, we just had like a decent amount of mutual friends on Instagram. And, I'm never going to not want to learn and like follow people and see what they're doing and see, how I can implement those things into my business. So I stumbled upon you on Instagram, and I just started watching you, and I was like, okay, this chick's pretty cool. Like, she seems to be doing something right. Like, let me just completely stalk her for the
Yeah.
next month and a half. And as I just started watching all of your videos, you really just kind of put EXP in a different light for me.
Mhm.
I've seen it other ways where it's recruit, 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 recruit. And that's great, and I'm obviously planning on doing that. But at the same time, like, I'm a realtor. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy making other agents, feel comfortable in the business. Like, I wanted somebody who could help me with systems and scaling and how to grow a team where I'm not burnout, my agents aren't burnout, and we're doing it the right way. And you're the first agent that I've seen that wasn't afraid to be like, I don't know you. You don't work for my company, but I'm going to give you everything that I do. Come see it firsthand. You were just so open with it
Yeah.
that, like, the first time I was like, okay, like, I could join her, and I could join EXP because of the way that you explained EXP to me.
Yeah.
Because I needed somebody to bring it down to my level. I'm boots on the ground, I'm working. I need
Right.
someone who's in the business and knows how to actually do a real estate transactions.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, it was
Yeah.
you.
And then, oh, you're so sweet. And the hardest part is I think when I was an outsider looking in, I was like, and then I was listening to course leadership that was in my ear. Oh, that's all they do is recruit. Well, I'm like, yeah, but they're selling homes. Like there's some
Yeah.
badass teams at this company, right? And I'm like, there's no way these people are just coming in here and dropping everything and recruiting. And so I think what's cool is, you came to my office, you were able to see us in action. And you said, I want to scale, I want to grow. Well, I've made so many mistakes. And what I love is when you look at our group, we've got, the Honey Badger Group, Fast Forward Movement, and Freedom Builders now. That's just one big entity. Every Monday we have our 1 o'clock calls. Have you been on those yet?
Yes, I've been on them with you. I mean, we were on I've been on two.
Good.
So that's what I'm definitely excited about.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we're going to get into that, but even that Freedom Builders is just an amazing network. And
Mhm.
you don't have anybody in Myrtle Beach. So I was like,
I
if I
know.
jump on this opportunity, somebody will.
Yeah,
So
Freedom
that's
Builders, Myrtle, here we are. But the thing is, when you look at it, all we care about is production. Like it's so different than what the narrative is, because again, there's always a narrative from the outside. And if we can't build big, beautiful businesses and we can't teach agents, think about this, to become true entrepreneurs. Agents are not entrepreneurs, they're slaves to their own job, right? They are high paid producers of their own business, but it's very belly to belly, and they don't know how to break free from that one-on-one transaction to let me help others, let me help other agents, let me build a business, and let me become a real entrepreneur. So
Yeah. And I don't remember where I heard it. It might have been from you where you were like, real estate agents, they don't retire, they die.
yeah,
And
I
that's
may
so
have said
true.
that.
I don't, I, up until now, I've just been on the grind, selling homes and building my team the only way I've been taught how.
Right.
And, I wasn't planning for the future, and if I don't start planning for the future and planning for retirement, I might not retire. And that scared me. And I was like, okay, well, I need to start planning for that now because I'm obviously not getting younger.
Yeah.
So I have to start implementing this now for everybody's sake. I
Yeah.
want everybody on my team to start having the resources to start planning for the future so they're not having to open doors when they're older. You want
Right.
to, that's wonderful.
That's
But I
great.
don't want to have to.
Right. Yeah. To be financially free, which we know how to make money, right? So all of us are very good at going out and making money. What we're terrible at, first of all, I know thousands of realtors. What we're terrible at is our finances, saving money, learning how to not live paycheck to paycheck, even though we're high income earners, many of us, the top producers, but they're high income spenders. And you really look at people's net worth and you're kind of scared, going, oh my God, you have to go sell a house. You have to work. And until I understood that I needed to have passive residual income like brokers have, because that's what we're really doing here. You're coming into my brokerage as a partner. And notice I say my brokerage, it's
Yeah.
your brokerage, it's our brokerage. If people don't recruit to their teams, the teams die. So recruiting is just a natural part of our evolution as business owners and entrepreneur. It's not a dirty word. I'm so thankful I was recruited. Like
Yeah.
I am so thankful, right? And you're going
Absolutely.
to have to recruit because you said to me, I want to get to 50 million next year, which you're going to get to.
Going to,
You're
that's for
going
sure.
to. Yeah.
And you're right though, recruiting is not a bad word, because honestly, I get more calls from big brokerages right now, Keller Williams, all of them. They're doing their job. They're
Doing
recruiting to
your
their
job.
company because they believe in their company.
Absolutely.
I
And they
believe in
should.
my team and what I offer. So like I have no problem, selling something I believe in,
Right.
I
Right.
just have to hear it from the right person to know that what this company stands for, what they truly offer, and how can actually help me so I can, help somebody else. So
Yeah.
once you learn all about it and you take off, like, you're not scared of it, you just actually look at it for a second, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I mean, it's a brokerage, they're legit, and
Yeah.
they're crushing it. Like they're
Crushing it. Yeah.
crushing.
Over a day, they're 12 years old. And think about this, Alicia. I'm going to make a whole whopping $2,800 off of you for the year. It is not going to change my life, right? Like, I mean, when you really think about when people go, oh, you just want to recruit me to make money. Yeah, that's not going to change my life. But what will
Yeah.
change our lives together is when you are showing up for your calls every Monday. Think of this, for $2,800, you're going to get 7 coaches. me
Yeah.
and Dan Beer and Michelle Sayward and Mark Z and Kurt Shewell and Curtis Johnson and Chuck Fazio. These 7 humans are your advisory board. You come in and no money comes out of your pocket, but yet these amazing rock stars, right? Some of them that have owned 900 agent brokerages that came to eXp, $600 million producer, $400 million producer, a team coach that runs 80. All these people are literally phone call away for nothing, for zero. Like
I know.
that is almost too good to be true. And that's
It
why I
is.
laugh when people go, you just want to recruit me. Yeah, so I can change your life.
Yeah.
Right?
I know that's so funny because you say it sounds so good to be true.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I really kind of struggled with because, when you're getting a phone call from a recruiter or from an agent who, is just passionate about it, they come off so passionate about it and you're like, okay, like you're a little too passionate. But they're not, they're truly excited about it. But then after I met with you and saw how you just scaled, like you skyrocketed ever since joining. I mean, obviously it was a ton of hard work. So you have to obviously work at it, but you had the systems in place and you had the support of your new brokerage to be able to do that. There's
Right.
not a lot of brokerages where you can do what you've done, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, and it's not that you can't do it, you
Yeah.
can, but here's the difference. At every brokerage I've been at, I had some amazing competitors and
Yeah.
peers, right? But I can't go to that peer and say, hey, can we meet every week and exchange our playbooks? Like, what leads are you getting? What are you saying? How are, that never happens. If it happens, come prove me wrong. If you are literally every
Yeah.
week meeting with the top people at your firm every week on Monday and you don't miss, and every Friday at 11, like it just doesn't happen. And the reason that it's happening here is I'm an owner, you're an owner. We want our brokerage to win. I want you to take over Myrtle. I want you to be the number 1 agent in Myrtle. Like
You're not alone.
right. So and that's the difference is we celebrate our competitors. I have a girl in my market. I put a post out yesterday. She is one of the fiercest competitors. She will be my competitor. She's going to be everybody's competitor. Her name is Allison Wojnarski. She's amazing. She sold 12 million her first year as an individual agent. This year, 50 million. Her second year in business with 6 agents. She's gunning for $100 million next year. I'm sorry, she's a force. I'm celebrating her because she's attached to me. I'm so thankful. I always laugh at her. I'm like, you're my retirement plan. So keep going,
Yeah.
girl. Keep going. So that's the beautiful thing is you're not intimidated anymore by someone who's a rock star. You're like,
Want them to win.
you want them to win. And so I want our triangle market to have 6,000 EXP agents of the 10th. Why not? I mean, we're selling each other's homes. And the other thing you'll see is as you grow this, which I know you will, because you have an amazing personality and you're very smart, is the network that you build. When you're sitting with a seller and you go, hey, we have 1,200 agents with off-market properties that I have access to, they love that. We're a global company, right? We're 19 different countries. Like, so there's really not anything here that I'm missing out on from a more traditional brick and mortar company.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, though, like, you can, if you want that, you can have that office space.
Absolutely.
You can do as much or as little as you want with the XP because there's so many different avenues. I
Yes.
haven't obviously explored them all yet because there's so many different avenues. That's the beauty of it. If you just want to be an agent, you can just be an agent.
Yeah.
You can cap out, get 100% and be an agent and kick butt.
And
But if
get
you,
this,
yeah, get
your
a
icon award, right? Your stock, which is over
exactly.
300 grand right now sitting there on my desk, right? But that's fun. Yeah.
Or you can do different avenues up there's mentoring, all around the world. You can do so much with it. I like having people just at your fingertips where you can learn what they're doing in their market. And like you said, they're not afraid to share it because they want you to implement it because they want it to work in your market too.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, you ended up coming to eXp Con a few weeks ago. You were like, I'm coming. I'm like, okay, she came. And
it was Vegas. It was
in
Vegas.
Vegas, yeah. In Vegas. So what did you think of that? Because you had been to different events and what was the difference there? Did you feel something different?
Yeah. When you go to other, maybe you went to Remax, I'm
I
sure you
went
went to
to the
that.
Remax and Keller events. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very scripted. They're a little motivating, but they're very scripted, and you really feel like you're sitting in auditorium and classes and breakout sessions where they're talking at you.
Right.
I have never been more pumped because it was so unscripted. You're almost kind of like, did anybody rehearse this?
Right.
Because everybody was so interactive. And at the breakout sessions, like you hear people say, like, oh, they want to share with you. They're going to tell you your secrets. And then you're like, sure, they are. You never really truly believe it.
Yeah.
I was in these breakout sessions where they're literally telling them every lead generator they use, what's worked, what hasn't, where they're spending their ad monies at. And they're just literally just agents from California to Idaho, who are just dominating it, like just doing amazing things, are literally telling you every place to sign up, what to do, how to do it, and what they're doing. And I'm just like, did he really just tell the entire 300 people in this room like everything he's doing in his book of business? And you're like, yeah, yeah, he just did. So I'm just sitting here taking notes, being like, I can't believe all these agents are truly just giving away their book of business. Because for me, I still kind of like, oh my god, I'm afraid to share it. But
Yeah.
they definitely weren't. They were just like, here you go. And just meeting with all the agents who have switched over big teams to small agents, switching over, they just like, I wish I would have done it sooner. I heard that the entire 3 days I was there. And I feel that way now too. I'm like, man, I wish I would have done this sooner. Like, I wish I would just taken that leap. But I learned that in my market, like it's still the very early phases.
Mm.
So I didn't miss the boat, which I'm very happy about because it is still growing and it's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people say, "Oh, I missed the boat," and I go, "There's only 70,000 agents. If you look at Keller
Yeah.
Williams is 150,000. Realogy brand that has 7, 8 brands combined, I think has like 150, 200,000 agents. So we're just getting started. That's what I just love. Like we're going to get to 1 million agents because we are a tech company, right? You can just park eXp Realty next to any other brokerage around the world and boom, start growing. And I love that finally as agents, like we're all banding together going, wait a minute, we get a
Yeah.
chance to be owners finally, right? So we can control the narrative, we can help one another grow. And who better to help a company grow than the people that are actually selling homes, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's just
excited about
different. You're being your own owner, but without some of the, the strain of like, suing and stuff. You're protected under that brokerage.
that red
You
tape.
have your A&O insurance, like you have all those things, so you can kind of be a broker, but still be under an umbrella that has the power to protect you in case something were to happen. So it kind of makes you just feel like even a little more free to be like, you know what, I can do anything because
Yeah,
I still have the backing of EXP,
right,
but I'm still growing. Like they want you to grow your brand.
right.
They want you to, give EXP credit, but grow your brand.
Yes,
And
be
it's
you.
amazing.
Yeah, and I love that, we just signed up another lady who was licensed in 3 states. She was paying 3 different caps at 3 different market centers. Like that is a lot of money. So now she's literally down to 16,000. She can expand, she can grow. It's just neat to see how many. That's what I feel like we do. Once you get to know EXP, which you will, in the beginning, you'll bring everybody to me and you'll
Yep.
pimp me out, right? Just because I've been here 2.5 years and
Yeah,
3 years.
that
So
is the plan.
that's the plan. So, we can help everybody grow, but eventually, you're going to see that people are going to reach out to you from all parts of the nation. I have people reaching out from Spain and France and you're like, this is just such a fun global opportunity. So,
Yeah,
I'm so happy because you are a rock star. You golf, so I get to come visit
I
you.
do.
Get to golf. Yay.
Yeah,
Another female
I'm
golfer.
ready. I'm
Yep.
ready.
And 1 year from today, we'll do your follow up. And hopefully, you're one of those people that just say, I wish I would have done it sooner still.
Yeah, I'm sure I will be.
Yeah. Well, welcome, friend. Um,
Thank you.
reach out to Alicia if you're in her market. We are growing the Freedom Builders. She has an office. She just signed a lease on an office. We're not anti office, we just
No,
want more opportunities. Um,
absolutely.
we actually just are opening an office in the Dillon over downtown. So it's like that's
Okay.
another thing you can just whoop, plop in and
Yep.
right open an office because we get those contracts. But welcome. I'm so glad
Thank
you're here, and I can't wait to see you every week now.
I know you will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm excited.
We'll see you later.
All right. Bye.